Right? Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, first off foremost, I must give all honor, praises, glory, and respect to our Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakarash. While Yahweh Shai, forgive me, Spirit, through this lesson, must give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for the mighty, mighty work they do, and also mighty shalom to the whole flick watching out there. Shalom. This brother and I come back to another quick lesson from GMS Camp Gary, Indiana. Come back to you with another live lesson because we live in 2026, where it's all up in the mix. And hopefully this video will be edifying to the whole flick watching out there. The video I did yesterday had no sound. Of course, anytime you try to help or uplift, the brethren, who's fighting a good fight of faith, they don't want you to hear it. Or when you completely expose their plans, okay, that they got coming forth, they don't want you to hear that too. Yeah, you can talk about the mark of the beast right now, but it's going to come a point of a time where they're not going to allow that. But to tell the people what they got planned next, oh, they don't want you to say that at all. Okay? They a lot because they gotta change their plans up. They gotta switch it up. Because they don't want us to be right. But we all know ultimately it's gonna happen regardless, no matter what they try to do or what they try to say, right? But without further ado, uh, serving Yahweh Shem Shai, you have to be a certain way, okay? You have to be like unto Yahweh Shai, how he was when he came on the earth in the flesh, okay? That's how we have to be amongst the people, and especially amongst our brothers in arms, okay? This is how we have to be amongst the body, okay? This is what the Lord requires. And as long as you have the Ruach Hadash, the Holy Spirit, dwelling in you, okay, this is why you have to defile not your temple, okay, so it can run through you fluently, all right, so you can show forth the fruits of the Spirit, more abundantly, let's say, okay. But today we're just going to let the scripture speak. We have to get straight into it. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, okay, starting at verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, okay? And these are all the qualities and attributes that we show amongst each other. When the brothers get together, this is how we feel, this is how we act, okay? This is how we conduct ourselves amongst each other, okay? Now, when we get in the world, it may be a little bit different. We're going to be, of course, much more sharper, much more strict, you know what I'm saying? And much more frustrated having to be around, the two-thirds people who are like the father of the devil, man. Because they don't have these attributes, okay? And they don't understand what it is to love one another, okay? They all about themselves, all right? They all about, feeding their own belly, okay? They all about the lust of the flesh, okay? And prior to these verses, that's what it talked about, okay? But this is the fruits of the Spirit, okay? This is how we act amongst each other. Because we love being amongst each other. We with the like-minded spirits, man. It's a beautiful thing. Continue on 23. Meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Okay? The Lord requires us to be humble. Okay? Meek. Okay? We need to humble ourselves before the Lord. Okay? can't have prideful spirits out here. All right. Only thing we should show pride in is doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay. And temperance. Being temperate all things. Showing balance. Okay. Having a good mindset. Okay. Not being overly anything. Okay. But having that perfect balance in the Lord. Okay. Verse 24. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. Okay, right? We put our flesh on subjection. Okay. Anything with the lust of the flesh, we're trying to stay away from. Like the video, like I said, they put it on silent mode. But the video I did yesterday, it's about enduring temptations. Okay. Them temptations of the flesh, they are a mother lover. But we got to fight. Okay, how can we be rulers over the nations in the kingdom of heaven if we can't even rule over ourselves? If we allow our fleshly desires to overtake us, to overwhelm us, to where there is no battle, there is no war amongst ourselves. Okay, there's no war in our mind. We just letting loose and letting the devil play tricks on us and falling victim to our fleshly desires. Okay, we have to be strong in the Lord and the power of His might. Okay, we have to fight. The Lord gave us the equipment. Okay, the tools in order to fight. So we need to apply those tools: reading, studying, praying, being amongst each other with the brothers. Okay. And so on and so forth. This is what we have to do. All right? We have to rebuke those wicked thoughts in our head. Okay, instantly. As soon as it come up, rebuke. You know if it's right or not. Rebuke it instantly. Okay? Verse 25. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. That's right. We need to stay in the Spirit as much as possible. Okay? That's how we overcome. Alright? That's how we going to overcome. Okay? Because we in the Spirit, our flesh, we're going to war against our flesh. Okay? We're going to put our flesh in subjection. Alright? And if we're in the Spirit, our judgment, okay, our thinking, our critical thinking will be on point. Okay? Because we're following Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and He's leading us in the path of righteousness for His name's sake. Okay? And we're staying away from iniquity, departing from evil. Okay? Verse 26, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Okay? We're not doing this for filthy lucre, for vainglory. We don't want clout. Okay? We don't care about what people think. Okay, we're not using our emotions, our feelings. Okay, we go off nothing but the truth, facts. Okay, our emotions are not involved. Okay, if the Lord said it, we don't care if we don't agree. We're gonna try to do it to the best of our ability. Okay, because we try to do what's pleasing unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, offending less. That's what it's all about. That's why we always have to what's that? So what you call it? Basically, to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Okay. The word it escapes me right now. Slocky, hold on one second. Examine ourselves. Why you have I knew it was coming. It just took a second. Slocky. We have to examine ourselves. Lest we be in the faith or not. Okay, we want to remain until the end. Okay, so we have to check ourselves daily. Okay, put ourselves on the checklist, making sure that everything is on point, making sure that we're doing everything correctly. All right, And and it takes examining yourself. You can't be, you know, uh, just going doing things willy nilly. All right, you have to, you know, look yourself in the mirror. Okay, you have to face that inner man and say, hey, look, I see some spots and some blemishes. Let me clear that up. Okay, if you have acne, all right, some blemishes on your face, don't you want that to be cleared up, or you just want to be an acne face, pimple face freak for the rest of your life? No. You see something wrong with you try to correct it to the best of your ability as soon as possible. Okay? Sure, you may stumble, you may fall. Okay, but a just man falls 7 times, but he get back up. Okay? It's like it's time, we got to gird up that loins. Okay? Tie our shoes. All right? Get ourselves together. Okay, for the Lord, because the Lord is on his way back. Yahweh Shai is coming back soon, baby. Okay? And when he comes back, you want him to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. All right? Instead of depart from me. All right? Ye workers of iniquity. You don't want him to say that. Okay? This is the book of First Peter, chapter 4, starting at verse 8. Above all things, have fervent charity amongst yourselves. Right? We have to be brotherly, man, showing brotherly love. Serving each other, doing things for each other. When a brother needs you, brother call, you gotta be on top of it. You have to sacrifice for the brotherhood. Okay? Yeah, sometimes it may, put you in a little bit of straits, but hey, how about Shemi Ashai he's gonna fight for you at the end of the day. Okay? He's gonna make sure you're good. Alright? Because you're showing love, alright, to his body. For charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Charity is gonna cover a multitude of sins, baby. Alright? So being charitable, showing love, okay, being brotherly, alright, being helpful and caring to the brethren, that's going to conquer a multitude of sins. And even people, you know what I'm saying? Cause a lot of people, they don't like to admit it, but they rely on us a lot. They rely on the brothers because they know there's something in us. They know that we different, and that's how we have to be. We have to be set apart. I tell people all the time, in the world, why I gotta do this? Maybe I don't feel like, if they not doing it, why should I? Because you gotta be different. Okay, you gotta be holy. You gotta be set apart. Okay, just because they doing it and they doing wrong or they ain't helping out, that don't mean you act that way. I tell my son all the time. Okay, you gotta be different, man. You gotta be better. We holding the standard of Yahweh Shemi Shai. Okay, the Lord is watching. All right, so don't you want to do good in the eyes of the Lord? Okay, verse 9. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. That's right. We have to be hospitable. Okay, offering. Like, hey, brother, you want this? When they come in your house, you offer up your house. Make sure they're comfortable. Okay, make sure they're good. Make sure they have all they need. If you got food, feed them. Okay. Imagine if everybody did, man, we would be living in a wonderful, beautiful society. Okay, but that's gonna come. That's called the kingdom of heaven, because every man for themselves here. Everyone's selfish in Babylon. Okay, only thinking about what's good for them. They ain't thinking about the next man. They ain't thinking about their neighbor. You're supposed to love that neighbor as you love thyself. All right, that's a commandment. Okay, but are people doing that? No. What you mean? I don't have nothing, so you want me? Man, that's because they don't have faith, man. They don't believe that the Lord is going to get them for helping him. Okay? The Lord got you. All right? It's called a chain reaction. Okay? You help another person out, you know it's gonna come back to you. People always believe in the karma. Okay? What goes around comes around. They believe in that. Oh, so you gotta get the clothes off your back, baby. The food out your crib. And don't worry, the Lord, He gonna clothe you, He gonna feed you. You just gotta believe that. All right? And how do you show that you believe through your actions? Okay? It's all about your character. All right? And we are in the spirit of correction, always trying to improve our character on a daily basis. Okay? Yeah, I know it's hard being in the flesh, and I know it's hard being amongst these wicked people. But you gotta try, put forth effort. You gotta fight. Okay? It's like where I leave off at. Verse 10. 1 Peter 4 and 10. As every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Yahweh. That's right. We received this gift, man. This gift of life. Okay? This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay? The gift of the Spirit. Alright, so we have to share that gift with each other, amongst the brothers, the brethren, okay, who are fighting a good fight of faith, okay, who have made themselves a living sacrifice unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, serving the Lord, the ones that truly serving the Lord, okay. We have to be hospitable, all right, and we have to share our gift amongst each other, okay, and that's a beautiful thing, all right. Last but not least, a little bit of long one, but you know we gonna get it, all right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 41, starting at 13. A good life hath but few days, but a good name endureth forever. That's right. Your character is so good, people will remember you. Okay? They're gonna remember your name. Oh, that was a good man. Alright? That was truly a man of the Lord. Alright? And it's gonna show forth through your actions, how you treat people, how us brothers treat one another, and people gonna see that and say, "Oh man, that's real love right there. Man, that's how I want to be." You set an example, okay? And then you, being a leader, then others will follow. And then that's what it's called, spreading love, baby. Okay. Verse 14, my children, keep discipline and peace, for wisdom that is hid and a treasure that is not seen, what profit is in them both? That's right, you can't profit nothing if you're trying to hide your gift, okay? If you're trying to hide your wisdom, you have to tell people, okay? You have to talk. I know a lot of times go one ear and out the other, okay? But you gotta let your voice be heard, baby. Okay? How people gonna know what to do or how to be if you don't tell them? Because the devil is telling them you can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want. You can sin all you want. But we have to tell them no. The Lord said no, and that means no. Period. Okay? That's how we have to be. All right? We have to uphold that standard. Okay? And let the world know y'all going off. And you need to get yourself back on track. All right, before the Lord, his righteous indignation, his wrath is going to come upon you. Okay? Verse 15. A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. All right? Don't hide your wisdom. Okay? Hide your stupidity. But don't hide your wisdom, baby. Okay? Let the people know. Show them and tell them. Okay? Verse 16. Therefore be shamefaced according to my word, for it is not good to retain all shamefacedness, neither is it altogether approved in everything. Okay? There's certain things you should be ashamed of, certain things you shouldn't. Okay? You should be, it's 17. Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother. Don't be a whore. Okay? And don't try to be with a whore. Alright? And of a lie before a prince and a mighty man. Don't be a liar. The Lord hates liars. Okay? Lying and bearing false witness. Okay? Verse 18. Of an offense before a judge and ruler, of iniquity before a congregation and people. Okay? Don't be wicked. Don't be sinning and must be thinking it's cool. Alright? Thinking you one of the cool kids. The cool kids? No. Doing what's right is what's cool. Okay? Being righteous is cool. Okay? It's okay to be a goody two shoes. Alright? Because the Lord is smiling amongst that. Okay? And that's all that matters. Alright? Of unjust dealing before thy partner and friend. Don't be unjust before your brothers and your friends, okay? Treating them wrong, talking about them, okay? Being a nigger, alright? And of theft in regard of the place where thou sojournest, in regard of the truth of Yahweh and his covenant, to lean with thine elbow upon the meat, and of scorning to give and take. Okay? And of silence before them that salute thee, and to look upon an harlot. Okay? You gotta know when to be quiet, and you gotta know when to speak. Okay? I say you gotta have that balance. You gotta know when to speak up and when to shut your mouth. And don't be looking at no whores. Don't be admiring no whores. I'm like, oh, but she got a big booty. Who cares about that? That's a hoe. Okay? And to turn away thy face from thy kinsmen, or to take away a portion of a gift, or to gaze upon another man's wife. Definitely don't do that. Don't be looking at no other man's wife. Okay? You see they together, you can be cordial and nice. Alright? But man, don't be staring at her. Don't be looking at her booty. Yeah, I know sometimes the flesh, may look. It may your eyes may go towards that, but you gotta shake it off. Like no, you gotta tell your body no. That's wrong. That's his woman. Okay? Because what it say, you committed adultery already, doing that. Okay? And it's bad enough, we committed spiritual adultery against the Lord, but man, we don't want to do it physical neither, okay? Whew. Verse 22. Or to be over busy with his maid, and come not near her bed. Don't be trying to get busy. I stay away from Rockville. Or of upbraiding speeches before friends, and after thou hast given upbraid not, or of iterating and speaking again that which thou hast heard, and of revealing secrets. I've fallen fault for this in the past. Okay, sometimes it comes out, but man, you gotta stop that, man. If somebody tells you something in confidence, okay, and expects you not to say something to somebody else, don't say it, man. Regardless of what's going on. Okay, especially if it's very personal. If it's not really that personal, if you end up spilling the beans, then you gotta tell the person, hey man, I apologize, I said something. Okay? Just don't think it's cool spreading people's information and personal business, around the world. Okay, this ain't telephone. Okay, and that's how rumors get started, and that's how, that's how things come up, and it ain't be right. Okay, so keep your mouth shut. Verse 24. Last but not least, so shalt thou be truly shamefaced and find favor before all men. Okay, people gonna respect you for being like that, for showing those qualities and doing those things that the Lord wants us and requires us to do. All right, people gonna respect you for it, and you gonna gain the respect and the love of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, most important. Okay, and that's what matters. Okay, we gotta do what's pleasing unto Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Don't you want to be delivered? Don't you want to be saved from impending doom? Because it's coming, and it's coming fast in a hurry. All right? And that's part of fearing Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Showing reverence, respect, and obedience, okay, to the Lord through that fear. All right? So if you want the Lord to guide you, protect you, and to deliver you, man, you got to show forth good character. Okay? And with that, I want to give all honor, praises, glory, and respect to our Heavenly Father, His only God, Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Why Yahweh Shem Yahshai forgive me the spirit through this lesson must give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for the mighty, mighty work they do, and also mighty shalom to the whole flock watching out there. Shalom. And hopefully this video is very edifying to the whole flock watching out there. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Bahashem Rakakadash, Barakatah.